Hello everyone, welcome back to the cinema, episode 5 of The Flash today. Man, I really should have started with a show that doesn't have 26 episodes in its first season. Before we dive right into the episode, we have another particle accelerator exploding. You know how it goes, 14 seconds in because you forgot. Alright, for people that don't know and they're jumping in randomly at episode 5, why are you doing that? Full spoilers here, okay? I'm gonna just talk freely about everything that happens. So we find our group down at the bar, they're drinking together. The group's watching Iris and Thorn get it on, like on the tables, and no, that didn't happen, I'm kidding. They're playing darts and then Barry realizes he can't get drunk. He's taking shot after shot and his metabolism is burning it up faster than he can put it in his system. This all gets interrupted though when we find out there was a bombing at a certain place and time in the city that they live in. And with this bombing that happened, there's a civilian trapped on a... It's things like window cleaners use them, or painters when they have to be on the outside of a building to do something. One of those things, it's going haywire, there's a man hanging and the Flash has to run up a building. He's asking, hey, can I do this? Is it impossible? How fast do I have to be moving to run up a building and back down? And I realize now why season 1 of The Flash works so well. Yes, there's 26 episodes and they reach about 50 minutes each episode, so that they have to pad them out. But what makes each and every episode enjoyable to watch at least first time around, is that there is always growth and something happening. In this episode, Flash learns how to run up and down walls and run on water. So it feels like episodes like these aren't just filler or a waste of time, or he's just another obscure villain and we're just padding out the show. There's always something of interest or growth within the characters. Anyway, Barry's up, he saves his purse and matches his velocity on the way down so he doesn't just splat. And then Iris just so happens to be there wanting to report on everything with this bombing and sees the streak for the first time, and it is cool. Later on, trying to find out who's who and what's what and how this bombing all happened, we get Barry up there where the bombing happened doing his CSI guy stuff, and there's this room full of files, right? Millions of files that'll take weeks, and well, the Flash obviously just flipped through all that shit really quickly. Again, Barry doing what we all wish we could do, and just make our jobs and lives much easier by doing shit like that. You know how many videos I could get done if I had a camera with a high enough frame rate and a computer that could move as quick as me? We then get the man, the myth, General Iving, Mr. Krabs himself, seizing evidence on all this bomb accident crap. Because the chick who's behind this bombing, the military claim is one of their own. Anyway, Team Flash track down this chick, they find out where she is, Barry goes to confront her, she touches him and he's like, I'm going purple now, what do I do? She tells him to run, get the suit off as quick as possible, he legs it before fucking exploding! And so, that is the end of The Flash. It was a really good show while it lasted, although I feel like the ending was a little bit abrupt. Obviously, they ran out of money or something halfway through. No, Barry gets the suit off in time, throws it in the air kind of thing, and it explodes, and Barry's left in his underwear. My man comes back to Team Flash, and Cisco's like, where's the suit? Where's the suit? It's my baby. That's how I'd be. We got a whole subplot here about trying to get Iris to not write about the street. We get Joe pulling Barry aside to be like, hey man, tell her do not do this stuff. In Barry's attempts to go and talk her out of it, she attaches her name to it. I just want to take it back real quick. There's a scene later on when as soon as they've realized that she's attached her name to these blog posts that she could be in potential danger of any one of the Flash's rogues gallery, and that was quick. That's quick for a show like this, like witty. I'm glad it wasn't like, oh, this will be fine and we can just do this. No, you get onto that. There's also this, in the same scene, just before they're talking about how Iris is attached to her name, there's a joke with a boomerang. And I suppose I'm Australian, so I have to bring it up. I did think it was a good joke. Anyway, this stuff about Iris writing about the streak keeps escalating until the Flash goes to jitters himself to be like, hey you, yeah, hey. Don't write about me. Well, it was a bit more subtle than that. He was blurring his face by shaking it really fast and warping his vocal cords, which is really cool stuff. Later on, Barry confronts Joe about, hey, I met her as the streak, and was like, yo, no go. And he's like, wouldn't she recognize your voice? And shows him the vibrating vocal cords, which is great. You can really feel the genuine love that Joe has for Barry here. Before Joe then, bang, confronts that motherfucker. You love Iris. And he's all like, fuck, is it that obvious? Yes, man. It's that obvious. Especially when the CW is showing you things like this. Yes, Barry, it's obvious. On the other side of this episode, we have the chick that touches stuff and whenever she does, it explodes. Mr. Krabs is trying to hunt her down while Team Flash is trying to find a cure for her or help her in some way. And while things seem to be going all well and they've kind of got an idea on what they're doing, Mr. Harrison Wells in his special little chair rolls his way in, super evil and shit, and it's like, hey, you should go and kill Mr. Krabs. And I was like, nah man, I love Mr. Krabs. But then they were all like, yeah, nah, we're gonna kill Mr. Krabs because he's not Mr. Krabs. But I thought he was Mr. Krabs, so I was all like, no, don't do that. But then they were all like, Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob? Beck then goes out of her way to be detected by the military. They show up and she's like, yo, take some marbles. But these marbles are explosive because she's touched them. Actually, I don't know if they're marbles or whatnot. They're just balls, but wouldn't it be funny if they were actually marbles? They could have been, because anything she touches is explosive. Anyway, the Flash shows up and he's like, hey, what the hell are you doing? Well, we're going to help and everything was going to be cool. And while he's distracting her, Mr. Krabs, straight shooter that he is, puts a bullet right in her chest. And she's dying, and Flash is like, she's glowing, boys! She's glowing! So then the next thing that Flash has to do, which I mentioned earlier, is run on water, man. He's got to get this chick out of here before she detonates. Gets her out, runs back. Visual effects for the most part look alright, but there's this one shot with these waves coming in that are way, way, way too high, alright? It's a tsunami on the entire city. The visual effects look okay, but the scale of those effects is just way off. Ivy, or Mr. Krabs, gets away later for more episodes to come, which is great. We then have a nice closing scene between Barry and Iris. It's very well acted, very well done. And then later at the bar at the end of the episode, boom! Barry could get drunk, or at least for 10 seconds. Really, to create something that's so strong that your metabolism can't burn through it straight away or whatever, that's gotta not taste good. Anyway, that's pretty much episode 5, Plastique. The name of the chick that can make stuff explode. Yeah, I mentioned that at the end of the episode. Except we get this one teaser at the end, 5 years prior, about General Iving and Harrison Wells talking about experimentation and making formulas and all the shady stuff they were doing 5 years in the past. Before Harrison Wells is like, no, we're not doing it, not to him. And I'm like, who the hell's him? We're all like that. And we get to see Gorilla Grodd's cage again, man. Excited for Grodd to come into this picture. I think it's episode 19 or some shit though, so I got a lot of particle accelerators exploding left, Because you're getting it here where I'm reiterating every episode that the particle accelerator is exploding. For me, I'm watching the particle accelerator explode, I'm talking about the particle accelerator exploding, and then editing and watching myself talk about the particle accelerator exploding. It's then getting uploaded and to make sure everything's cool. I see that I'm talking about the particle accelerator exploding. So I'm hearing and seeing it 5 times more than you guys are. It's driving me mental. Anyway, pretty good episode. Yeah, we got some cool stuff. The Flash is developing more, running up buildings, running on water. Things are escalating. I can't wait for episode 6 because I want to get to the good stuff. I'm pretty sure 9's the first one that's just, yeah. So looking forward to it. If you guys are enjoying these, let me know. I'm going to keep trickling along doing these when I've got the time to. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. I'm going to talk about the Flash for the rest of my fucking life at this rate. If you've made it all the way through to the end of the video, you're a bloody legend, and hopefully I can see you guys next time. Bye guys.